What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions Podcast, New York Jets Fantasy Focus for week number 9. I'm your host, Alex Cuesta. Normally with me is the JetPress.com site expert, Luis Tirado Jr. This week he could not be with me, so it's just me solo. But he has given me his pick, and I will be giving you guys that as well. So getting right down to it, last week versus the Bears, we both believed that Jermaine Kearse was going to be the play. He had the targets. He should have found pay dirt at least once, but he did not. So unfortunately, while it was a good bet to go with him, he eventually ended up not being the play. This week, Lewis is going with the guy that I went with a few weeks ago, and last week was the only Jet to score a touchdown. That's Chris Herndon, the tight end that is really starting to find himself on this Jets team. His chemistry with Sam Darnold is undeniable. And it's just, right now he's turning into the tight end the Jets have always needed. So look out for Chris Herndon. That is Luis Tirado Jr. of the JetPress.com's play. And as for me, I'm actually taking a different approach. Last week, we also saw Sam Darnold find chemistry with a guy that was literally just signed on the team. But he had this chemistry because he was his former teammate back at USC, Deontay Burnett, wide receiver. He was literally just signed, I think 2 weeks ago now. And he was signed because the Jets were low on receiver with Anderson missing games, with Quincy Enunwa, who should be back this week, but still he was missing games. Robbie Anderson might be back. They're both questionable. But Deontay Burnett stepped in and had a great day. He had over 60 yards. I believe he caught all 4 of his passes. And if he continues to find that chemistry with Sam Darnold, he can find himself getting a much bigger role on this team, especially with Terrell Pryor being gone. Now Terrell Pryor is a member of the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be interesting to see if that chemistry can continue. I believe that at least for this week, with Enunwa being iffy and maybe just coming back, Anderson being iffy, maybe just coming back, Kearse being the possession guy, Herndon's still catching the ball, but teams are going to start to key in on trying to stop him now. I think that's going to free up Deontay Burnett to really have another big day and possibly score a touchdown. So the only 2 guys that have been active, and I didn't even touch on the backfield. Isaiah Crowell is the lead guy right now with Powell, of course, with the season-ending injury. But Crowell was shut down last week by the Bears, and in week 1, he was shut down by the Dolphins as well, so that might continue. Elijah McGuire has returned, and he has the big play potential, but I would not go with a guy just coming back off an injury. He needs to prove to me that he can be a legitimate big play threat on this team before I recommend starting him. And it seems like Cannon has fallen out of favor after being really unproductive last week and seeing a few snaps. So the 2 guys that we are going with, Chris Herndon, tight end, is Lewis's pick. Deontay Burnett, wide receiver, is my pick. And we both feel really confident about these guys, and hopefully the Jets can get a win against the Finns. Next week, the Jets are playing the Buffalo Bills, and hopefully Lewis will be back with us for that pick, and we'll both have successful stories with both of these fantasy guys. So again, I'm Alex Cuesta. This was the Sports Opinions Podcast, New York Jets Fantasy Focus for Week 9 against the Miami Dolphins. You can find me on Twitter at @A_Cuesta30, and that's also my Instagram. Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30, Instagram SportsOpinions30. There is the Facebook page. Just search the Sports Opinions Podcast. And also, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can virtually find us now. Please go subscribe, like, rate us 5 stars, tell your friends, and happy betting out there, happy fantasy, and hopefully the Jets get a win against the Finns today. So long, everyone.